Alright, question 2 now. It's busy. No, question 2. And question 2 is how many marks? Question 2 is 6 marks. Okay, totally, of 6 marks. It's not a lot, yeah? Basically, we have 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, but get the show you don't get it wrong. Define the term pulse. Yin pulse. So now 2.1. Yin pulse. Simple definition yakon. A pulse is a single disturbance in a medium. And then 2 marks are considered. Yeah, it's a question you are being asked to define. Then you tell every time. Practice ama definitions akho. Practice ama definitions akho. Iwona zokunikeza ama mark. Yabo, u2 marks nje lo amahala just by ukuremember ukuthi a pulse is a single disturbance in a medium. Ngeke uhlube lo. Ngeke uhlule ukuthi nje single disturbance in a medium. Ungacream, but practice level ukusho njalo up until ikuhlale. Okay, define the term pulse. So define with a pulse is a single disturbance in a medium. Medium, let's just say now amanzi athule. The time ushaya kanje amanzi mhlawumbe angahamba kanje. La ushaya khona siqhaye phezulu. So you have displaced some of the particles of the water at that point, and then as iyale lento le izobe ihamba kanje. Yabo? Izodlula kanje njengegagasi, angithi. So that is the single disturbance in the medium, which is water in this case. So now we're moving on to question 2.2. Okay, now go to question 2.2, man. The diagram below shows 2 pulses L and M traveling in opposite directions in a rope, which means lama pulses lawa ahamba kwintambo. So le ntambo le it's more like by 10 the time bethi kuphumani pulse, and the pulse iyahamba, but nangala so umiseza nale bakhiphe ngekanje as well in that direction. The amplitude of pulse L is unknown. Asiyazi amplitude L. And that of pulse M is 7 centimeters. This is the crest with the unknown amplitude. It trough with the amplitude 7. So let's imagine the 2 pulses meet at point X, and the resulting amplitude is shown below. So but the bahlangana like X baba into nje eyodwa. Yabo? Umbuzo ke 2.2.1 for 1 mark. What type of interference takes place at X? What type? We have 2 types of interference. We have constructive interference and we have destructive interference. Constructive interference, it is when 2 pulses meet, resulting in a larger pulse. So now my pulses out too. When they meet, they should result in a larger pulse. Destructive interference is when 2 pulses meet, resulting in a smaller pulse. So iyona iphike le. Abo 7 no mehlangana nenye akakwazi ukuphendula ku4. It means le u7 ube negative, angithi. So whereby a crest and a trough meets, where my pulses when they meet and they're in opposite directions, it results in a smaller pulse. Which interference is that? It is destructive interference. So 2.2.1 is about destructive interference. These are 1 mark questions. 2 marks in your color define, and then the rest are 1 mark. 6 marks in your faster so when you need to recall any constructive and destructive, because we identify with your naive. Alright, so question 2 now, hello? I mean question 2.2.2. Look. Why is it possible to apply the principle of superposition at x? Nah, la bahlangane khona la ku x. Why is it possible? Okusho ukuthi why sikwazi ukuyisebenzisa i-principle of superposition la ku x? So simple nje explanation yakhona. It is because the two pulses will occupy the same space at the same time. Because remember, mehlangana, they form one, they look as if they are one pulse. But the pulse lena nje iyenziwe lama pulses awu two. So the two pulses are now one. Momentary, just in that split second, kuzoba khona into ekanje. And in that time, they share the same space, they share the same time. Okusho ukuthi uma mengase mhlambe ngibe wena no classmates wakho eclassini niseclassini nihleli ndawonye, if ushare ilocation yakho to someone mhlambe okwenye ilocation mhlawumbe osegoli wena useThekwini, if umshare ilocation yakho nalo mngane wakho ohleli eceleni kwakhe amshare ilocation yakho, i-live location, it will be the same kulo ozoyireceive. Why? Because both of you nina nobabili nisendaweni eyodwa ngaleso sikhathi esifanayo. The same concept sikeke uma sikhuluma ngala ma pulses, nawo omabili azobe esendaweni eyodwa ngesikhathi esodwa enza pulse eyodwa. Ingakho ke sikwazi ukuyisebenzisa ini i-principle of superposition of pulses. Okusho ukuthi our answer is the two pulses occupy the same space at the same time. Mase usithola ubani? U1 mark wakho. Usidulele manje siku question 2.2.3. All right. So, the 2.2.3 nayo manje. Determine the amplitude of L. Yabo? Okay. L is the pulse pedal. Siyazi batheni it has an unknown amplitude. Angithi. But le u7 siyazi ukuthi u7 plus u-L mela sinikeze 4. 7 plus i-amplitude ka-L mela sinikeze u4 cm. Yonke siyaziyo le. So we transpose u-L uzolingana no4 minus 7. Umese yangala u7. So L is equal to 4 minus 7, negative 3 centimeters. So the amplitude of L ulingana nobani no negative 3. Ungathatha na i-calculator yakho uthi 7 minus 3 ubothi ngawuthelo ino 4. Uthi minus 3 plus 7 ubothi ngawutholo ino 4. But since we understand ukuthi the two pulses under destructive interference will meet at point X and the amplitude will combine algebraically. Mengithi algebraically, what exactly do I mean? I take into account of signs or directions of the pulses. One is a crest and one is a trough. If one is a crest, it means it is positive. And if one, yabona just say positive 7. Here's the little mistake, okay? This is down, it's a negative. I sense exactly this thing, but we should use a negative for the amplitude, ya M. So it is actually negative 7 plus L is equal to 4. Negative 7 plus lo L lo uzosinikeza u4. So L is equal to 4 plus 7. So L is equal to 11 centimeters. Yabo? 11 centimeters. So 11 minus 7 is 4. This is the way to do it. The opposite. This is a positive pulse and this is a negative pulse. And this is how we do it. So when I remember a crest is positive, a trough is negative. For one marking, you don't have to work hard. One simple mark. So next time you see a destructive interference into ozoyenza, you add or you combine the two amplitudes algebraically. If they are facing the same direction, then they will both have the same sign. But if they are in opposite directions, that means kwenzeka i-destructive interference. Lapho ke oyedwa uzoba negative, oyedwa uzoba positive, and you can solve for the unknown. Asifuyeleni umbuzo olandela. Alright, so question 2.2.4, 1 mark again low. So don't stress. In which direction does pulse M move after the two pulses pass each other? So, emva kokuthi lama pulses ahlangane nge-superposition of pulses, kwenzeke i-destructive interference whereby two pulses meet, creating or resulting or forming a smaller pulse of 4 centimeters. Uzoqhubeka aye ngakiphi direction u-pulse M. Khumbula u-pulse M ubesuka ngala eya ngaka left, kodwa u-L ubesuka ngaka right, besuka ngaka left eya ngaka right. So la bezohlangana khona they formed the 4 centimeters. Uzoya ngakephi ke ku-N. After sebehlangene baqhubeka with their original amplitudes and their original directions. Okusho ukuthi njengoba kasiqaleni kade yaka left namanje akakashintshe. So kuzobe i-answer yakho u2 the left. Imaki nje elilodwa. Njengoba phela lo kadeza ngala lo eya ngala ukuze bahlangane ku-X angithi. So uma sebehlangene baba nje uzoyiqhubekela lo nalo ayiqhubekela ayile bahlukane kanjalo. Kwenzeka kanjalo ke when two pulses meet. Kwenzeka i-interference either constructively or destructively. And after that they continue with their own amplitudes and their own directions. Asifuyeleni umbuzo olandela. Alright, so kune error encane la esiyenzile on question 2.2.3 whereby we were asked to calculate the amplitude of A of L lo ola esingamazi. So what we did sithe L plus 7 u4 and then saphinde sathi minus 7 plus 7 u4, which is still wrong. Why? We didn't take into account of my directions of the resulting amplitude. Siyabona la thina sesilungisile la, but inkinga ngala asilungisanga. So let's fix lo nkinga. So u-L is positive. So uzosala positive. It is a positive pulse. Ikrestile. So L plus. Remember the algebraic sum. U-M is a negative pulse. Ize ngaphansi. Angithi it's making a trough. Okusho ukuthi so L plus negative 7 is equal to bani? Lo 4 lo u-negative kwayewona njengoba the particles are displaced ngezansi kwe-rest position. Should to negative 4 la. That was the only error we made. It's a positive 4 instead of 4. So let us solve manje for x. So L is equal to ayingalelo minus 4 ayingale plus 7. So L is equal to 3 centimeters or positive. And then we are done with 1 mark. Question 2.2.4 bese suphendulile vele. Ngicabanga ukuthi ubonise uphendula kanjani. So la when you adding algebraically you consider ama directions akho. Ama directions and the directions of your pulses. How do you get your directions? If the particles are displaced above the rest position, it is a positive pulse. If the particles are displaced below the rest position, it is a negative pulse. Regardless ukuthi it is one of the two pulses laba bazohlangana or laba lo resulting pulse or okuyena ophumile uma sebehlangene, awunindaba. Wento oyenzayo ubheka ama signs akho. Uma uswalungisile ama signs akho uzokwazi ukuyithola i-answer yakho for u1 mark. We can't afford to lose u1 mark. Yabo iphutha elincane nje lokuthi u4 lo ubhale as u4 njengoba enjalo. You getting it wrong. Why? Lo 4 lo i-crest i-pulse yakhona i-negative. So it is actually negative 4 and not positive 4, which is how sitholile lo positive 3 centimeters, which makes sense. U3 lo mawubuka uma lo ku7 yabo. So igcina isiyenza isense. Sizobonana ku question 3.